So we have this story in Genesis 26 where Isaac is having some interactions with a king named Abimelech, who apparently got eyes for his wife, Rebekah. And once that story gets resolved, if we turn to verse 26 to 38, there is this meal where the two different parties come together, the family of Isaac and the people of Abimelech, and they all agree that we're going to live in peace with one another. There's a couple of important things to learn about this. First of all, in the ancient world, people didn't sign peace treaties. They would actually eat meals together when they were at peace. You wouldn't go have a meal with somebody you're an enemy with. But if you've been invited into their tent to have a meal, that's a signal that you are at peace. Now, what's interesting here is that every week we are asked to come into the tent of God, church, and have a divine sacred meal with him. It's a symbol that we are at peace with God, that there is not war, enmity between us. So we see the same thing going on here between Isaac and Abimelech and their respective peoples, that there's this meal. It's a communion, it's a supper where they come together and say, we are at peace. In fact, you'll notice in the text that they say, let us all have peace. And later, a well is dug, and it symbolizes, well, this water that comes out that provides sustenance to everybody. It symbolizes this covenant of peace. And the name of the well was called Beersheba. And in Hebrew, the word Sheva means covenant, and Be'er actually means well. And so today we realize that this covenant, or Beersheba, which still exists today in Israel, is the place where there was the well of the covenant to symbolize that these people came together and decided to live in peace and to share of the water that came from this well. So kind of this interesting story. So we might ask ourselves in our lives, what are the wells of everlasting life or water of everlasting life that we are seeking or digging or making available to others? How are we covenanting to make the wells of water of eternal life available to others? And how are we actually joining with others in peace and symbolizing that through sacred meals? And how are you making use of the sacrament to experience that God is at peace with you and you are at peace with him?